Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io, but they have a Patreon for other games. So, on the last Let's Play, we picked white girl music, and Jenna danced like a white girl, and I danced like a white girl, TJ danced like TJ, and I stepped on Jenna's foot and then she sprained her ankle. Heck. But then after that, we just kind of hung out in our house and had a heart to heart with Leo, who was like, yeah, I wooed Flynn, and I also told him that I said that I wooed Flynn and that I knew that he wooed Flynn, but also that Leo was saying how he pretends his chula is with him, which helps him get through their time apart. Which that was like, part of me was like, oh, that's a decent idea, just having some kind of like a mythical a guy with you to help you be less lonely. And then it's like, oh right, the mental illness part. I mean, there's also the ghost part, but the mental illness part. So, yeah. Um, and yeah, we chose him instead of talking to who was it? Daxter. I mean, I guess we had to only choose one, and he was the first one to bring up talking, so I picked him. Yeah. So now reset face. And sorry for the rating yawn. It's been a while. I guess it's also a regular yawn, but it's like, I want to do this game. I step outside. The air is still kind of hazy, and the smell of hot dogs is pretty palpable. I look over across the yard. TJ and Jenna are sitting at a table. Jenna's still holding her ankle, but doesn't seem too pained by it anymore. That doesn't stop TJ from doting on her with concerned looks. I mean, I understand. He comes from a sports medicine background, so it's gonna be his job one day to deal with situations like this. Still, I feel guilty. I awkwardly slink up next to the two, wave my paw. Hey. Hello. Jenna nods in my direction, and TJ finally takes his eyes off Jenna long enough to greet me. Welcome back, Chase. I'm really sorry about earlier. It's okay, really. She removes her paws from her ankle, filling them in her lap. Not top. I can read. I'm not dyslexic, maybe. You just put a lot of weight down my foot right when I was pulling it in a different direction. Yeah, I'm not great at dancing. You used to be okay with it. I remember Leo dragging you to nearly every single high school dance there was. Yeah, I remember that. Sometimes, I feel like he was just trying to show me off at every single opportunity. I mean, who actually does go to a winter formal? What is a winter formal? For better or worse, those days are long gone. For worse, judging by her moves. There's a small tug at the corner of her maw. I can tell she's joking. See, now I'm glad I stepped on your foot. Chase! I let out a bit of laughter. I'm just kidding, TJ. Same here. Anyway, I'm surprised you were so comfortable walking around in there. I glance over my shoulder, looking back at the weather-worn house. Huh? Why? The spiders. You're still afraid of them, right? I had been trying to think about that the whole time, actually. I didn't even remember if I used that thumbnail. Anyway, sorry. It felt like there were lots of them in the house, even when I lived there. And that was with my parents bug bombing the place every month. It's kind of uncomfortable today because, or yesterday, I was walking up the stairs like, what is this thing on the staircase? Oh, it's a crushed cockroach. I've been stepping on that. Anyways, or is this the urge to reach down and rub my feet, in case there were any walking around my fur? not like deathly. I crossed my arms on my chest, tugging some at the fabric of my shirt. Right, of course. TJ snickers some. Jenna pulls out her phone, beginning to tap away at the digital keypad. By the way, you found something else that might help you with your project. Oh? It's in my purse. Could you grab it? Sure. What's in it? Jenna doesn't answer, continuing her texting. TJ, meanwhile, seems to be grinning at his empty ketchup-covered plate. Is it a spider? Jenna? I move over the purse, unbutton the main flap. I've always been a little wary of going through girls' purses for obvious reasons. The first thing I notice is a piece of folded paper with Chase written in all capital letters on the top. It looks like there's something wedged inside of it as well. Curious, I pull back the top of the paper and feel something fuzzy against my pads. Then, a bristling sensation. Thin, prodding things tickle the tips of my fingers. I squeeze one and yank it up. Dangling before me is an orange and black tarantula, its limbs bouncing from sudden pull of force. Jesus fuck! I toss it down to the dirt. It seemingly bounced right back up and landed sideways on my foot. I scramble back, kicking at it with such force I can muster. Shit! My chest heaves, and I feel my heart is about to burst from my chest. The tarantula doesn't move, and that's when I realize TJ and Jenna are grinning at me. Jenna has her phone pointed in my direction. Jesus, she's filming this. Language. It's just a rubber, Chase. You're just a rubber. That! I point the limp, 8-leg thing that is now 3 yards away, stuck in a patch of growed brambles. That's not funny. It is, actually. I'm sorry, Chase. It was Jenna's idea. It was 99 cents at the gas station, and we stopped it back in Two Canyons. No wonder you two wouldn't let me see what you bought. Did you guys actually have anything for me? I mean, regarding the project. GJ begins to look even more guilty. Jenna sets her phone down and goes about reclasping her purse. Not really, Chase. As he said, there isn't much information about the 1877 happening. Most search results direct us towards dubious ghost hunting websites with no source of veracity that could be utilized in the formal report. I can read. All of a sudden it's like, can't read. Well, fuck me. Though they don't go over what happens in 1877 now, do they? I mean, besides a riot or something. I sigh, stilting my swayed tail and feeling calm once again. Was there anything that could be used in a non-formal report? The fennec cocks her head, with her eyes seeming to look right through me as she thinks, before meeting my gaze once again. What do you want to know more about? The UFO spotted over Echo Canyon by a group of night hikers? The Masetta ghost woman who wanders along the edges of the res, seducing men before impaling them on the branches of mesquite trees? Or perhaps the Mothman, who now apparently has been seen driving a semi-truck down Route 93 at nights. I'm not talking about moth people, I'm talking about like a moth man, you know? Two completely different things. Maybe he needed a side job. The economy has been tough lately. I let out an exacerbated noise. Okay, get to your point. Although, there were lots of mentions of the riots there, or here. That includes the happenings in 1915, as well as some other unsourced stuff about violence after World War II. Just a general perception that we're all a bunch of desert malcontents living in some sort of Sodom and Gomorrah style situation for a century. Sounds about right. We even had a famous brothel that served all the minors in the area. The brothel? I look at TJ, who's frowning acknowledgingly. Does he really not know? It's a place where they make broth and other types of soup. I know what a brothel is. Jenna merely smirks and shakes her head. Do you know what a woman of the night is? It was called the smoke room. Wait, what? I tense up, and they seem to notice. Chase? Is something wrong? The smoke room. The prequel. Yeah? That still exists. I was there last night. You went to a broth last night. Jenna says this less as a question and more of a deadpan matter of fact. What? No. It was this bar that Flynn went to. It's right by the casino. There's no sign for it or anything. And it's like some sort of gay bar? A gay bar? In this county? At least, that's what it seemed like it was. I mean, there was a whole bunch of dudes fucking each other. And I guess some drinking. That's a gay bar, right? I shrug, trying to phrase this as carefully as I can, without going into too much details. Everything smelled like cigarettes, and there was this really shady back room they called the smoke room. That's... Jenna presses her knuckle to her lower lip, seemingly in thought. She glances up towards me after a moment. Interesting. Do you know its address? With that look, I regret bringing it up already. Jenna seems to be maintaining this sort of intrigued expression. I begin bracing for any follow-up questions. What sort of music did they play there? Surprisingly, TJ's the first to speak. I don't see any signs of judgment on his face, either. Just genuine curiosity. Oh, it was kind of weird, actually. Like, Why'd you stop? It was this sort of droning, bassy synth stuff. Really? Yeah, ever heard anything like it? It was kind of loud, too. I'm not sure why you're asking. It's TJ's turn to shrug. Just curious. So, you went to a gay bar with Flynn, named after an old, famous brothel? Exhale, resting my paws at the edge of the table. It's not like that. Like what? Daxon, Carl and I followed him after he left us in the middle of hanging out last night. But he sort of... well, I think he was trying to invite me to go along with him, in his own sort of way. He left his phone behind, with just one text message on it with the address. I think he wanted to see if I was interested enough to snoop through his phone instead of outright inviting me. It's hard to explain. Oh, no. I understand completely. That sounds quite like Flynn. Very non-committal, and giving himself something that he can hold against you, if need be, to protect himself from having any semblance of vulnerability. Jenna rubs the bridge of her small nose, still seemingly frustrated with Flynn's behavior. She reaches down, picking up a piece of paper plate from beside her and shoving it in a plastic bag. I'm ready to head back to the motel. Chase, are you coming? Oh, sure. TJ begins cleanup as well, moving to drag the picnic table back into the appropriate yard. I help. I sit cross-legged on the edge of the bed with a notebook in my lap. I'm sort of half planning out the script and half kicking myself for not doing a lot of this preliminary stuff earlier. I'm also kicking myself for not getting any scans of the photos and documents I found at City Hall. The B-roll I got doesn't quite cut it. Having actual historical papers with pictures of Echo's inhabitants that aren't available online might look good on my portfolio. At least, that's what Jenna said. I kind of doubt they were open on Saturday, so I had to talk to Flynn, Also, we'll be leaving like hella soon, you know? Or, the town burning down. And Flynn still wants me to assist him with this whole interrogation he has planned. Or at least stay out of the way. For now, I just want to focus on my project. Currently, Jenna's tapping away at her laptop on her side of the room. Although she seems more distracted than she was at the beginning of this trip. TJ has the TV set on some behind-the-album rock music history show that he's pretty engrossed in from the looks of it. He lays beside me, his back propped up by pillows. After a few more scribblings for my outro, I toss aside my notebook and sink over on the other side of the room. I take a few packets of candy egg oatmeal that I've got about 20 of and empty them into one of completely styrofoam bowls on my table. I know it's for kids, but I always kinda like this stuff. I'm a sucker for anything that's bland as hell, with a tiny bit of sweet add-ins, like oat bran cereal with dehydrated marshmallow bits. I don't know, I think I might have had that. I fill the bowl with water, about a centimeter higher than the top of the oatmeal. A little bit of maple cinnamon dust rises from the mixture. Hopefully this pack isn't too old. I didn't check the expiration date before grabbing it from my dorm room. I bring the mixture to the microwave and sit it for 1 minute. On the TV, there's some raccoon talking about how their music video went viral back in 2006 and how the fame went to the bandmate's head. It's weird to think that 2006 was nearly 10 years ago at this point. And this game is set almost 10 years ago then. I remember watching shows like this with my mom as a kid, and they were always about hair metal bands from the 80s and 90s. Each episode was full of grainy, old pack film photographs from alleged happier days of the Focus Superstar. It has me thinking how much stuff like that there is in my childhood. There's nearly a gig of videos on my old laptop, ranging from home movies, machinima to class projects I did with a group. Machinima. Plus, all my social media posts are still there. It's not like those days where faded memories on a sepia-tinted photo roll picture. God, I remember, my dad keeping the negatives in, the things. I really should just go look at them at some point before, I leave for stuff. They're right there, in full, 1024 by 768 aspect ratio, a few clicks away. Maybe that's why I don't think about Echo with as much nostalgia as someone like TJ or, Leo for sure. Speaking of, I checked my phone a little while ago. He hasn't texted it. The microwave beeps, and I take the oatmeal out. The directions say to leave it for a minute, for 2 to 2.5 minutes. But that always seems like overkill. I like it a bit soupy. I'm gonna take a shower. Do you guys want anything? What, from the shower? I blink. What? He stares blankly at us. Do we want anything from the shower? Jenna, after a couple seconds, looks up from the laptop at the links. TJ? He looks as if he's come to a realization. Then, he covers his face with his paw. Forget the second part. I shift awkwardly, bowl of oatmeal and paw. I didn't get much sleep last night. Jenna sighs. It's okay, neither did I. I didn't wake you guys when I got in, did I? No, we were already pretty much awake. That man shouting in the parking lot was making me uneasy. I didn't hear any of that. Jenna lowers the top of her laptop some, though not closing all the way. It started a little before midnight. You hadn't arrived yet. It sounded like he was walking all around the motel. He even screamed at our window. Was he yelling anything specific? No, he was just shouting. I heard a few words here and there, but never like any fully sentences or anything. Like any fully sentences. He just sounded really, really mad or sad. TJ pauses, looking at the bowl I'm holding. Or scared. I don't know. Of oatmeal. Part of me kind of wants to call Leo. I can't help but smile a little at that. Really? Wow. I didn't actually. Leo the Protector. I can't believe, after all this time, TJ still sees Leo that way. I called for the police. They said they'd send a patrol car, but I never saw one show up. He eventually just left. A little before you showed up, actually. It feels like everyone's on drugs in this town now. Now? Jenna retorts, looking at me with a raised brow. Well, I mean, it wasn't always this strange, was it? Even back growing up, I'd still wager at least a third of the population was on heroin, or worse. It comes with the territory. But I will say, I do somewhat agree with you. Echo depopulated by around 100 people since I was born. That, in itself, is another 2/3 of the population. Is the other 2/3. Those that remain didn't have that same level of general township community that we once did, what little it was. TJ nods, rubbing his wrists, and looking towards the drape-covered window facing the parking lot. I remember when we used to have our own grocery store. Oh, and speaking of, we had the diner after the hike yesterday. Julian works there now as a busboy. A busboy? Yeah, busboy. You remember him, right? He's the, reindeer guy. That in one route, we were kind of friends with, but actually we hated him in that route. And in another route, he might have been chopped up into tiny bits of reindeer meat. I think for a moment. Was he the green reptile kid who peeled himself in AP Lit? TJ looks a little aghast. What? No! Then I don't know him. That was Cody. Wait, the Cody you dated? Jenna makes a slightly disgusted noise, shaking her head. You're thinking of upstate Cody. I never got to meet him. Wait, who's the Cody who dated? Oh, Jenna. Yes, well... Jenna lets out a little puff of air, pushing up her laptop screen again and typing something. Neither did I. She stops for a moment, turning to look at me. May I have some of that? My oatmeal? Sure. I hand her a still warm styrofoam bowl with a spoon. Damn it, I wanted that. And of course, she's digging out all the sugared dinosaur eggs first. So, right, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Julian was telling us that the diner will probably end up closing down at the end of this year. Maybe next, if they're lucky. This is the last business in town besides the motel. The last legitimate business, you mean? I see Jenna nod before taking another bite of my oatmeal. It's no wonder, then, that people act weird. Even Leo, Carl, and definitely Flynn are different. Did you guys see Janice again after what happened on the road? Did we see Janice peeing on the road in this route? I don't remember that. Is that when we're going to Carl's place? TJ nods uneasily, blinks, beginning to busy himself, gathering up a fresh set of clothes. I asked her if she was okay or needed any help, and she said she was fine. Great even. But she looked really bad. TJ picks up some red pajama pants that have faded, a little Christmas ornament symbols stretched in around the bottoms, and pine tree decals on the waist. He also, a bit more discreetly, grabs a pair of bright red underwear and quickly hides them in the folds of his pants. I wonder if he's matching the two intentionally. And I don't mean like ugly. I mean she was kinda grimy and smelled of raw meat. She was definitely on something, TJ. I hope not. TJ turns, shuffling himself into the bathroom. The door shuts. You know. Jenna sits up some. I think it was Clint. Clint. That's, oh yeah, the kind of cat guy that's hella on drugs. Jenna's speaking to me, but her eyes are on her laptop. Huh? A man outside that was screaming. At first, I thought he had Jeremy with him, and God, just the thought of that makes me want to get out of this town and not look back. I don't blame you, but Clint? Judging from popular television growing up, it seems like everyone alive had a childhood bully, some with multiple. We had Clint, and this little gang of assholes. Jeremy, Micah, hell, even Heather sometimes. Wait, Clint, and his little gang, yeah. The thing is, with a town of 50 people, escaping your bullies is near impossible. They're everywhere, they hate you, they hurt you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, until Leo did something about it. I still remember the squelchy noises Clint made as Leo hit him over and over again outside his own trailer. Leo didn't speak any English, and they were all a couple of years older than us, but that didn't stop him. I don't know how things would have turned out if he never moved here. The voice, it had a certain cadence to it that reminded me of him. I resigned myself to the notion that Jenna has eaten all my oatmeal at this point. Moving to the microwave and grab another styrofoam bowl and a couple more packets. The fact that styrofoam just makes it go eh, and I just think of the sound of plastic spoon scraping across styrofoam bowl and I go sorry. I can already tell there's not going to be enough left to really be satisfying. I'm assuming you haven't gone to see Jeremy and the rest of the family either then? No, and I doubt I will. By the way, how are you doing? I look over my shoulder. She seems to be deciding on a font for whatever she's typing away at. Catching my glance, she meets my gaze for just a moment. And I don't just mean in general. Any sleep issues? And of course, she changes the topic like that. Sleep issues, as she calls them for my sake. I pour some water on the oatmeal, and then grab a chip and eat it. No paralysis, just sort of strange, really lucid dreams. I think my subconscious wants me to shave off my goatee. This may be the one time you should listen to the voices in your head. I make a growling noise that comes out a lot less intimidating than I intended. Jenna does look up. What are the dreams like? I let out a long exhale, placing the oatmeal in the microwave. I don't know. I think I'm just tired, and it's mixing badly with my current mental state. I've been kind of crawling in my skin since I got here. Crawling in my skin as words. I saw a face behind someone's shoulder that wasn't really there last night. What? Are we talking about shadow chase in the mirror or in the window? It wasn't something I thought much about at the time. I was really upset, but the more I dwell on it, I don't know. I shrug, waving dismissively. When I look at Jen again, I can see the fur on her neck has lifted a little. It was probably just an angle, though. You alright? Jen looks back at me, and I can tell she's debating whether or not to tell me something. I wait. Just made me think about when I was a kid. I hadn't thought about it for years, actually. I pause. Do you want to talk about it? I'm worried. I'm about to open up a can of worms. It wasn't traumatizing or anything like that. Well, it was actually, but it wasn't real. Did you see a face? Yeah, it was a reddish color, flat too. Whoa. Yeah, it had a body as well, but I can't really remember exactly what it was like. Did you dream it? No, not really a dream. At least, not in the sense that I was asleep when it happened. I just see it walking around in broad daylight sometimes. What the hell? Are those like real, solid memories? Like it really happened? I don't know. It usually happened when I was sad or angry, like when Dad was having one of his moments. You mentioned that you saw something while you were upset. Remind me of it. You mentioning that. I just see it walk past the doorway, or sit in the closet. Really? What the fuck? It was a really long time ago, like when I was 5. I don't want you to think I'm crazy, Chase. I don't. I saw things too as a kid. I mean, more things. Yeah, I think you've told me. I had, and it's something I really don't want to think about right now. I'm pretty sure it's just something my mind made up. Because I was under a lot of stress. Brain can make up whatever it wants, really. It's part of the reason why I went into the fields that I did. I want to help figure these things out. Do you see it anymore? At all? She's quiet for a while and shakes her head. No. Saturday. What's up with the redness in the background? Well, that's gonna be the end of this Let's Play, because we're at the 30-minute mark and all that. So, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please comment, because I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks. Otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help it grow. And please remember to pay the new animals to control the pet population over the last 2 days. So things are going to get real fun right here, and then real fun again there. That's Friday. Was that... What was that day? It seems like a long day. Because we were in the thing, but we're still with Julian? King Julian! Having fun all over the world. Okay, it's like when we found the case or something. So I guess things might not be just totally bonkers at that point. But anyways, please comment, guys. Like, I'm sorry, I might have worse this. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks. Otherwise, if you like my YouTube and like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help it grow. And please remember to spay and no new to woo your animals to help control the pet population party. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. Oh, we just kind of skipped Saturday. Huh. And if you want free on itch.io, but they have Patreon. Sorry, I keep pressing buttons in my brain. My brain's like, pick something. This, that, And, yeah. Until next time, another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. So thanks and see ya.